Brooke is looking for a second date update. She went out with a guy named Nick, and we're going to try to help her out. Hi, Brooke. How are you?
Hi, guys. So good to talk to you.
Hi, good to talk to you, too.
Happy to have you.
So I met this guy, Nick, at a bar. I was with a bachelorette party, and things were a little wild. They got a little out of hand, and I was with a group of maybe 20 women.
Oh, that's always trouble when they're that big.
Mm-hmm. And almost all of them were sloppy drunk.
Except for you.
Yes. No, because I don't drink that much.
And that's the worst because bachelorette parties are just crazy to begin with. But if you've got a group that large and they're all sloppy drunk, there's most likely a little bit of infighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because that's just way too many women to get along and agree on where you should go next and what you should do next and where everybody should be.
Yeah.
And then if you're the sober one in that group, oh, my God. That's a nice. Why'd you agree to go?
Well, because it's my good friend. But, you know, at a certain point, I was kind of ready to run away. So I kind of slipped away from the group and was standing at the bar when Nick came up to me. And he started talking to me, said he'd been watching me and couldn't tell if I was with the group because I didn't look comfortable. So I laughed, and then we started talking. And he's really funny. He's really sweet. And like about half an hour in, he was like, hey, you want to get out of here? And I was like, yeah. So I told my friends I had to go, and we left. Then he drove me to my place, and we sat in the car, and we talked for an hour. And so I finally invited him in. You know, he ended up staying the night. And I had zero plans for anything like that happening that night, but it all just kind of felt so natural and easy, and I really liked him. And then everything was really good, and we talked for another hour in the house before he even kissed me. And then everything just took off from there, you know?
Wow.
Okay.
That was a long night.
Yeah, and maybe I should have asked him if he was married or had a girlfriend. And
Those are usually
what
good.
I'm worried about.
By the way,
You wouldn't think you would have to ask that question. You would like to assume that if the man is making a play and you guys are starting to fool around, that it goes without saying he's single. It's sad that you would think like, oh my God, I should have asked him. You should know. You shouldn't have to ask him.
No, but can you imagine, like, you go through all that, you have all those hours of conversation and whatever happens, and then he looks at his watch and he's like, well, my wife's going to be pissed. I should probably get back.
Yeah, so he left early the next morning. I asked him if I was going to hear from him. He said absolutely, but I never did. So, and I texted him once, but no reply. So, I don't know, maybe I missed something.
You're a one-time texter, and then the rest is up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're going to call him up and see what he thought of his impromptu evening with Brooke and see if he does have something else going on that he did not disclose on that first night. As Second Date Update continues next with Jeff and Jenn, Cincinnati's Q102.
You know, there's a new way for you to level up your sports watching experience. It's with Underdog. You can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. I'm talking touchdowns, passing yards, and more. Hey, it's Fritch. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. You can sign up with promo code JJP, and Underdog is going to give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code JJP to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer.
Must be 18 plus, 21 in Massachusetts and Arizona, 19 in Alabama and Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-HOPENY or text HOPE-NY.
So Brooke had no intention of meeting Nick that night. She was actually out at a bachelorette party, like 20 women. And Brooke is the one who doesn't really drink all that much. So she's surrounded by a lot of drunken young ladies.
Sloppy ladies.
Yep. And she was kind of backing her way out of that situation, hanging out at the bar when she met Nick, who seemed reasonable and not as inebriated. And next thing she knows, she's talking to this guy, and he drives her to her place, and they talk some more, and one thing leads to another, and wasn't planned, but was lovely. And is hoping to see him again. She reached out, thinks there might be some potential there, but he's not responded. And we're kind of curious as to what his situation is. So we're going to reach out, give him a call, and see if we can get some answers for Brooke. Who was that man?
Hello.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. Who's this?
How are you, man? It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you?
I'm all right, depending.
Depending?
Is this like
is this a conditional all right?
Well, I mean, I know y'all. I mean, is this like a dating thing? What's going on?
Would it be the worst thing in the world if somebody had a crush on you and thought you were pretty cool and wanted to see you again? Would that not be somewhat flattering?
No, that's really nice. It just, it depends. Who are we talking about?
Do you remember Brooke?
Oh, man. Well, I had a feeling this would come back around, but I didn't think it would be like this.
Are you involved with someone?
No, it's not that. I mean, look, I liked her. I liked her a lot. We had a fun night. She's just a bit insistent, I guess.
How?
Well, look, she's like in this wedding coming up, and that's how I met her. I met her at this bar, and she was at a bachelorette party, and they were all having a lot of fun. I mean, everybody's really drunk except for her. But she kept saying over and over again, you have to come to this wedding with me. You just have to. You have to. And well, I just met her. Really cool, but that's not usually my thing. But I mean, she even, not to get too personal, but she brought it up during, like, things went really well. So we ended up hooking up, and she talked about it then, brought it up and asked me then, and then afterwards. And then it was the last thing she said when I was leaving. And then she texted
You're
me
coming
about
to the
it
wedding,
again
right?
Yeah.
Well, I hate weddings. I hate them. They're just not my thing. Like, it's go ahead and do your thing. It's not my thing.
Most men don't like weddings. There are some exceptions, but the
I'm
majority.
just not in that place. It's not part of my journey, And I mean, again, no hate. It's just it's not my thing, and I don't want to really be at them. It feels very uncomfortable for me, especially if I'm there with. I mean, she's great, but I still don't know her very well, so it just.
Yeah. The insistent thing, that I think would be a bit off-putting to me. Like,
yeah,
I'm just getting to know you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was really enjoying that process, just enjoying each other and taking our, I mean, we didn't take our time exactly, but, still getting to know each other. And that just felt like that's a big step to be a date to that sort of thing.
Big ask.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're coming to the wedding, though, right? You have to come.
Well, I mean, I was kind of waiting it out, like that's why I didn't really answer. Like, I'd love to see her again, but I'm pretty sure it's this weekend. So, I figured it'd be all right to maybe, we just met, like it's not too crazy to not talk for a while.
I'll call her back after the wedding.
Yeah. Like, that's not, I don't think it's too mean. And just, we still don't, I mean, she probably has other people to see too, like, I don't know. It just feels kind
Tim
of.
will go to the wedding with her.
Tim loves weddings.
I feel like you, man. It's not my thing.
No.
Yeah, it's not my thing, and I don't want to give the impression that it is, that maybe we're headed towards that. And so I just, I want to keep it casual and get to know her for a little bit.
Yeah,
first,
weddings are interesting. I mean, some people look at wedding dates as just somebody to accompany them so they don't have to sit alone and it doesn't mean anything. And other people are like, if this person goes to the wedding with me, it's a sign he really cares.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get serious.
I respect it, but I don't want to put out any vibes that are, disingenuous. So, I just feel like it's the right thing to not be present for that with someone I just met. That's where I'm coming from. So.
All right. So you're a fan of the show. You've heard us before. You know how Second Date Update works. We have her on the line. Let's talk to her. Brooke, your reaction to what Nick just said.
You seem like you would be into it. Like, you kept saying my friends were like a good time. You could have just said you weren't into weddings.
Yeah, sure. I mean, y'all are really fun, and I like you a lot. It just still feels. I mean, sure. I could have communicated better. I feel put on the spot and kind of strange about it. So
I would have been like, let me fall in love with you first before I make a big sacrifice like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's a little more time, and I know I feel awkward about it. So I'm sorry I didn't really come out and say it, but it feels uncomfortable to me. Like, I just want to take a little more time, you know?
Yeah. I get it.
I get it.
Cool. Like,
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just met, and for some reason, I thought you were really into it because you were like, "Oh, your friend seems so cool," but I misread the situation.
I mean, I'm into you. I'm really into you. I just I still I don't know them as well either, and I don't want to take a wedding to get to know them. I mean, it's not about me and new people. Like, I just don't want to feel like a third wheel, while also just wanting to be there for you. You know, like, it's just a lot of distractions and a lot of excuses too. So just, you know, I'd like to hang out with you, and I'm sorry I didn't explain a little better. I just felt uncomfortable.
You were waiting it out. When is the wedding? Have we said when the wedding is?
I think
It's
you
next
said
weekend.
Next
it's
weekend.
next weekend. Got it.
Yeah.
So she was going to call us.
That's funny. All right. Well, can we set up a second date for
Please.
whenever without any obligation to attend a wedding?
Yes, I'd be down.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, now that we've definitely talked about it, and I would appreciate that. I think that'd be great.
Okay. Yay.
Well, we know what Nick's avoidance maneuver looks like.
No kidding. He
Yeah.
hides. All
That's
right.
very funny.
Especially on the radio. Thank you. That's the best way to communicate. Avoid that.
Guys.
The lengths some men will go through just to avoid attending a wedding.
That is funny.
All right, Brooke, we're going to set
good.
this up with you. Nick, you'll be hearing from her soon. Thanks for coming on Second Date Update and agreeing to talk to us. Best of luck to you both.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Guys.
And Brooke, don't hang up. You hang on. We'll set this up.
Okay.
All right, if we can do a second date update for you, shoot us an email. Jeff at
Jeff and Jeff.
Jeff
Doesn't that
and
just say something? Doesn't it?
Jeff.
Jeff
Yeah.
and Jeff.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
How
Jeff
many F's are in
and
Jeff?
Jen.
4. 4 F's. And one big
And
U.
one big F.
Yep.
Okay, so Jeff and Jen.
The truth has been revealed.
Yes, it has.
So I got to see like a little behind the scenes thing of Friends, you know, one of those like retro Instagram little clips that they show. And this guy is talking about the scene when Ross abandons. He was going to marry that Emily chick, that British chick. Did you watch the show?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I've seen all the episodes of that.
And so anyway, so they're shooting the wedding scene, but they were trying to write the finale, and they didn't really know like where they were going to go with it.
Right.
But they're shooting what they've got written so far, and so he's standing at the aisle. And Emily, the woman he's about to marry, is coming down the aisle. And then they start doing the vows. And he accidentally called her Rachel. And he's like, oh, crap. Sorry, we got to do it again. And the writers were like, no, that's it. That's what we do. That's how he realized. That's how they break up. And she realizes that he's supposed to be with Rachel. And so they're like, hold on, we're going to rewrite the scene. So they came back
That's
and they
cool. So an accident.
and that's how it was a happy accident that.
Happy for everybody but Emily.
Right.
It's a happy accident that he forgot Jen's name on the email.
It's happening.
Right. But
It's
the
happening.
producers were like, sometimes it is
Yeah.
that
Prophetic.
on the fly
Yes.
collaboration, I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
I like how he's trying to get this back.
I know. He knows it's futile.
He's so screwed.
It's got a nice ring to it, though.
Jeff and
doesn't it?
Jeff.
You got to
yeah,
admit.
it does. Look, it's Jeff and me. It's me and me. It's all about me. I'm Jeff here with my partner, Jeff. The two of us together are so good.
Two of us together are Jeff Square.
That's right. We're
Otherwise
so
known as
good we say our name
The
twice.
Jeff Show.
Jeff and Jeff. This is the Jeff and Jeff show, and I'm Jeff and Jeff. I'm both Jeffs.
It's going to be a beautiful day today, isn't it, Jeff? It sure is, Jeff.
Oh, boy.
You know, Jeff, you're cool. No, you're cool.
Where are the rest of us? We're all just gone. It's just you.
Oh, no, they're going to start calling us Jeff, too.
Yeah.
We don't get our own names.
It's easier on the logo.
It's
If
easier.
we just go by Jeff. The Jeff
A bunch
show.
of Jeffs.
Jeff 1, Jeff 2.
Yeah, it's like George.
Yeah.
George Foreman. Didn't George Foreman name all of his kids George?
He did. I think all the way down through like 8. Like 1 through 8.
Yeah, I get it.
Keeping it simple.
It's kind of like how our old general manager used to call us Skippy because
Right.
we couldn't remember everybody's name. So we just be like, Skippy.
Yeah.
Now we're just all going to be Jeff because Jeff is losing it.
I know. I feel so bad for the people who are going to have to take care of me.
Me too.
I really do. I do kind of like, I'm trying to make, like, do I have everything in order so it won't be that hard for them?
Do I have enough money allocated to go to each one of them to make it worth their time?
Yeah.
I hope
You know,
they have the patience.
Like
to
they know
deal
where
with you.
everything is. They, they got the key to the lockbox, the file cabinet. Everything's organized in a file.
Yeah, but they can hire somebody that's patient.
Right.
That's what's
I got
really,
a really good estate planning attorney, so
That's-
he knows the drill.
that's convenient.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
helpful.
Yeah. But, I was thinking about this. God forbid if you drop dead
Yeah.
but you're the one who
Is in charge of everything.
you're in charge of everything. You're paying all the bills.
Yeah.
You know where everything is. And then, your poor spouse who's left behind doesn't know where anything is or what. I don't even know.
You got to have
I
it
don't know our bank account. Like
listed out.
that happens.
Oh, it
Oh,
happens
yeah.
all the time.
All, yeah.
I have people in my life where the one that knows refuses to tell the other spouse. Like the other.
What is that
Why?
about?
Oh, control freak, narcissist, all kinds of stuff. Has been very controlling over how much money.
Mhm.
Yep. The wife gets, and she's living on a very strict allowance.
That should be your sign right there, friend.
There's so many horrible things. But if he were to drop dead today, she would. She doesn't even know what banks their money is in.
Oh.
And she's not even on the accounts, we don't think, but we don't know for sure.
She's got to start setting up her own stuff.
Well, I
Come on,
keep
girl.
saying when he's out of the house, let's
Yeah.
start digging through stuff.
What about passwords? Does she know
All of it?
passwords?
No.
All
Doesn't
she
know
needs.
anything.
I can't say what I'll give you a plan for her. I can't say it on the air. Involves some sleepy time meds and some
Yeah.
facial recognition.
Yeah.
But outside of that, we're in.
But I mean, that's the greatest gift you can give to the people you love,
Yes.
Is not leave a
everything.
mess behind.
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you have a big family. That happened to my mom when her mom passed away. And then her dad ended up getting dementia and Alzheimer's and then eventually passed away. But it was like people wanted things that you didn't even think would be an issue, like the curio cabinet.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to list out, like that's going to Jen, especially if Jen has 11 siblings
Yeah.
that all think they want it. It's
Right.
like sometimes you got to get the particulars,
Yeah.
especially jewelry, things like that.
Well, Jen won't have to fight with anyone.
Nope.
Yeah,
and
that's
neither
true.
will Jacob.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm here if you want to unload some of those Converse, Jen. Throw me in there.
If Jacob's
I'm the
feet don't
same
grow
size.
anymore, yes, you are. You can get the ones that are very, very girly that Jacob wouldn't want because he
Okay.
and I are in the same size and he loves Converse.
Make sure he knows though, because that's something he could, be wanting to hold on to.
Yeah, I hear you.
Thanks for listening to the Q102 Jeff